Hello, longboarding mom. It's been a long time since I've been in the kitchen, but I'm here today making a crumb cake. Yes, it is that time of year. I want to say it's my favorite time of year because I love pumpkin pie. At work, we have a pumpkin crepe. It's amazing. And then they make pumpkin stuffed French toast and stuff like that. And I always make my own homemade pumpkin puree. You guys seen, if you saw the post in my community page, the little like wilted pumpkins, those are roasted and I puree. They're little pie pumpkins. They're sweeter than normal pumpkins you can do, the regular orange pumpkins. And I have done Cinderella pumpkins. If you guys have seen that video, if not, I'll try to link that above and stuff. But every season is my favorite. But there are certain things about every season I like. And pumpkin is so versatile. You can make muffins and pies and pumpkin spice crumb cake. Oh, that's what we're going to make today. I have looked at so many recipes and I was going to make this one. I was going to make that one. One called for a lot of butter. And I'm glad I didn't choose that one because I'm almost out of butter again. I think there might have some in the freezer, but I don't know. I'll have to look. But I have been making projects, and I'll show you guys a photo of the finished product of one and what I'm starting on the other. And I didn't make a video because there's one out there on YouTube. I didn't quite copy her video because she used a glue gun and I'm using tacky glue, which I should have watched the video. I just like, oh, that's really cool. I could do that. I didn't watch the video and I started putting it together, and tacky glue takes a while to dry. Hot glue gun just glues right together. And, hot glue sometimes just falls apart. So I like the tacky glue, which takes time to dry. And the balls seem to stay together a little better and stuff. So I'll link the video to that too if you guys want to make something cool for your centerpieces for Christmas or even Thanksgiving. Because sometimes people like to decorate for Christmas for Thanksgiving because, depending on who you spend your holidays with, how you spend them and stuff. But this is a great dish. Some people don't like pumpkin pie. So I've actually never tried this, so I can't say it's a great dish, but it looks very good. And it's something that you can take to potlucks, and it's something that will travel well, I guess is what I'm trying to say, because sometimes pies don't travel very well and need refrigeration and stuff, and this really doesn't need refrigeration. So we are going to get started with the crumb topping first because I like to put that in the freezer, as you all know, to make it, like when you're making it, sometimes you not overwork it, but you melt the butter and stuff, and you don't want it melted before you put it in the oven because then it's not crumbly, and you want that crumbly, crunchy topping and stuff. So I always make it ahead of time and put it in the freezer. So we are going to start with that first, and then we are going to pull out all the other ingredients for the cake part, which I thought it was going to take like 2 cups of puree. So that's what I saved out of, actually more, because that's what I had left over from the pumpkins yesterday. And it only takes like cup, a cup and a half or something like that. Less than that, I think. But I'll find something else to make with the other puree pumpkin stuff. In this bowl, we are going to start with our crumble mixture. I need 1 cup of flour. Try not to make a mess because I overfilled my flour container. I need a bigger one because I go through this much flour so fast. All right. And I need a 1 cup light brown sugar. I grabbed the half cup out because it's easier to fit in here. Just like that one's a half a cup. I need to get that wet. I usually go through my brown sugar so fast that I don't even really need to wet that, I don't think. So we're going to do 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of light brown sugar, and we're going to mix the seasonings and everything together before we add the butter. Oops. Yeah, I'm almost out of light brown sugar. I think I've got another bag in there. Honestly, all these containers are way too small for me. I need gigantic containers because I bake and cook so much that none of this is the right amount of anything. And we're going to do 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. So we went through my mom's poems. That was very emotional. It was a very good time. I still have one more video I need to edit with my sister. It's her hiding her glass jars that she likes to make. And they're really, really pretty and artistic. And she doesn't sell them. She just makes them for fun and hides them around her area and stuff, and people have like a little scavenger hunt and everything. And it's not only just my sister, there's quite a few people that do this. So I've got to edit that still, and then I've got one more song I made on that song app I had. And so I did driving through fall colors and stuff, and the poem my mom wrote was written in 85, and it just pertains so much to today's time and stuff, and it is a poem. So yeah, some of the song you're like, that doesn't really make sense and stuff, but it's really neat. I wish my mom was around to hear her poems made into songs. I always told her she wrote beautiful songs. Some of them are poems and stuff and are very private and everything, but some of them are very cool. They're just wow. Okay, so I'm using my pie cutter to mix this in. You can use your fingers too. I took my rings off because I might end up using my fingers for this. We need got all these mixed in. We're going to use a half a cup of cold butter. I pulled this out of my refrigerator for a little bit because my refrigerator is super cold, and we are going to cut it into chunks and just kind of throw it in there because we're going to cut it into the flour and sugar mixture and crumble it up, and I'm going to throw it into the freezer while we do the rest of the cake mixture part. Oh, I've got to, after I'm done doing this, we will grease a 9x13 pan and preheat our oven to 350 degrees. I'm going to try that pie, that brownie pecan pie dessert again. Somebody pointed out that I was mixing my pecan mixture with a fork. What? Why was I doing that? I don't know. I go through weird phases and do weird things, and I have really been doing some weird things at work and stuff, and like things I normally wouldn't do. I'm like, why did I just do that? When I got back from my little mini vacation, I had 5 days off. My Monday, somebody asked for, oh wait, I want this knife. Somebody asked for Coke, and I'm like, or Pepsi. I'm like, yeah, I'll be right back. And I come back and I'm all, I have Coke. Is that okay? Sometimes it's okay. Some people like no, and or just order water or Dr. Pepper, or, something like that. It's just so funny because they're either Coke or Pepsi. Some people don't care. I prefer one or the other, but I really don't care. I will drink one or the other. Oh, goodness. So Thanksgiving is right around the corner. We got Christmas in a little over a month. So that's coming up fast. And then my grandbaby's birthday, she's going to be 4. She's so smart. She can count backwards from 10. She can almost spell her name, which her name is not easy to spell. I even have to look at her name to spell it. When I was younger, my name was not easy to spell. And it's misspelled all the time because my mom added a letter to it. So it gets misspelled all the time. And it's so funny because in my town that well, I don't live in that town. I work in that town. There are tons of my names in this town. And I'm like, we just all flock here. We all flock to Florence. But we all have different spellings of our name and stuff. There is a spelling that is correct, and you can find it on a license plate, but that is not my spelling. And then there's mine. Mine is like I'd say the next normal spelling. I have met another girl that has the same name as me, and I have to look at her Facebook page anytime I spell her name because I can spell it wrong every time. I think I would get it right. I've known her for almost 20 years. You'd think I'd get it right, but I don't. Do you have a funny, weird spelling or know somebody like I spelled my daughter's name funky? My sister spelled her son's name funky. My son's name is not, it's not funky, but I can't find his name on a license plate. Like the little, you know what I'm talking about. Like you get a bicycle, and kids don't ride bicycles anymore, so you probably don't know what I'm talking about. You used to be able to buy license plates for them, and I actually have a license plate with my name on it. It's just not spelled right. And it's the old Oregon license plate. It's so cute. I still have it. I couldn't even get one close to my son's name at all. So I think I got Too Cool for You or something for his bike. My daughter definitely couldn't find one with her name on it. I did the same thing to her. Poor girl. I want this crumbled up. I don't want flour, I don't want any of the flour to be loose. I want it basically all in the butter and stuff. And that's why you want cold butter, because otherwise it melts on you, and then you just have a blob of sugar mess on your whatever you're making. Like one time I made blueberry muffins, and the crumble was just not crumbled, and I didn't use cold butter. I think I used soft butter, and it just all melted down the side, and then you got a sugary mess on your pie tin and in your oven. And I guess you could throw this in a food processor, but if I use my utensils correctly, but you could throw this in a food processor. Gosh, I'm silly. And it would work way faster. And I have one. I have to get it off my. I am not tall, and everything's on top of my refrigerator. I have no space for anything. And why would I put the heaviest stuff on top of my refrigerator? Because that's the only space I have for it. You can use two knives to cut this. So I put this in the freezer. There's still some loose in there, but I put this in the freezer, and once it gets colder, I kind of clump it back, clump it together and make bigger clumps. Because you want crumbles, but sometimes you like the big crunchy stuff too. So we're going to put this in the freezer. We're going to come back and clear up this little mess that I made first, but bring out the mixer and make our cake part of it in just a second. I think I have all the ingredients I need. I don't need the brown sugar anymore, so I'll go back there. I do have my oven preheating at 350 degrees. Let's see. My pan is trying to make room here so you can see what I'm doing. My pan is greased up with shortening lightly. We don't want to fry our cakes, so you lightly grease them. We need 2 cups of flour in a large bowl here. We're going to dump it in this one because we want to mix the flour and all your ingredients, your dry ingredients first, and then your wet ingredients, and then you incorporate those together. That is 1 cup. I really wish this came with instead of a half a cup, a full 1 cup, but I guess it wouldn't fit in the container very well, huh? I'm already complaining I don't have enough room for flour, and I need a bigger container. That is 2 cups there. I know most people wouldn't do that. I leave it in there. I don't bury the part that I touch in my flour. That's probably should take it out. Okay, flour over here. Okay, and in here we are going to add 3 teaspoons of baking powder. So my baking powder, I found out, the Clever Girl has bioengineered ingredients. So I buy the generic stuff and just dump it in this container because I really like the container because the size of it. And I like the recipe on the back for the biscuits. I just need to write the biscuit recipe down so I don't ever lose it. I like to write down all my recipes anyway. Okay, 3 teaspoons baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt. Got all my seasonings right here next to me. A 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and since I've already used this one for cinnamon, I'm going to reuse it down here. I have already got some Christmas music going in the background. It's just the instrumental one. I find it's AI generated. I don't necessarily like the scenes and stuff, but I'm not watching the videos. I'm listening to the music. A pinch of clove. I skipped the ginger. I gotta go back to the ginger. Pinch. I love the smell of clove. Reminds me of my ham. I can't wait to make ham. Okay. I need a 1/4 teaspoon of, half a teaspoon of ginger. I'm gonna have to buy more ginger if I'm gonna make gingerbread this year. They have a gingerbread contest, and I was thinking about entering, but it costs like 25 bucks. That one I don't have to be present for, so I might actually do it. Okay. Ginger, cloves, nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Peggy Hill, add nutmeg. Add nutmeg. I can't say it. They say it on the King of the Hill, but that's what I always think of when I add nutmeg to everything is the King of the Hill. It's funny. Do you have, like, when you're making stuff, do you quote things? Like my family does. We quote almost everything. Okay. I got nutmeg, cloves, ginger, cinnamon, salt, baking powder, and flour all in here. We are going to whisk this all together. And my phone is ringing and it's my sister, so I will be right back in just a moment. We are starting on our wet ingredients. I need 1, oh goodness, lost my, there it is. 1¼ cup of pumpkin puree. Look at that beautiful puree. I used to do, when I do the whole pumpkins, they are wetter than these sweet pumpkins. This was so nice and I got so many seeds out of it. I'm going to do seeds after I'm done with this. I've got to strain them because they've been soaking in salt water for 2 days. That's right, I did this 2 days ago on Monday. I was so happy my pumpkins. I've got more green pumpkin, a white pumpkin, and a large pumpkin out there still. I don't know what I'm going to do with. I told my husband we can use them for target practice or something. But he said that pumpkins don't blow up like you thought they would. Oh, a quarter cup. So what we're doing is we are going to mix together softened butter. My butter has been sitting out at room temperature. It wasn't room temperature, I had to thaw it. We're going to do 1¼ cup of the pumpkin puree. And then we're going to have to find a recipe that uses the rest of the stuff up. I can make probably pumpkin rolls out of the rest of this because that's the right amount. There was another recipe too I found in here. And their recipe that I'm following shows you can do other stuff with the leftover, which is cool. They give you a recipe, so that's kind of cool. So this is my softened butter. We're going to dump it in here. We're going to cream this together. Make sure I get all the butter. Sometimes you can use this butter to like grease your pans with. Okay, I'm going to scrape the sides. So my pumpkin was cold. So my pumpkin basically made my butter still soft, but it kind of hardened up a little bit. That's okay. I'm hoping. I'm going to keep this over here because I'm going to use it for my eggs. Next, we're going to add 2 cups of granulated sugar. I'm going to scroll down really fast and read again. So yeah, it says it's okay if it's not totally smooth. You just want it distributed well. We're going to add the sugar and beat until it's well combined. So I need 2 cups of sugar. I don't like, now I know why my husband doesn't like this. 1 cup. I'm going to have to get him another measuring cup to put in here. Okay, so I got 1 cup. 2 cups sugar. We are going to mix that around while it's well combined. I'm going to add to this. I was supposed to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So we will, I'm almost out of vanilla paste from my sister. I'm going to have to beg her for some more. She's so busy right now. I don't even know if she has any. I got this cute little bottle of Absolute vodka a long time ago and threw some vanilla beans in it. I don't know if they're going to, oh, it smells like vanilla. It's been in here for a couple years. I've been shaking it around and mixing it up. So we're going to do 1 teaspoon of the vanilla. I might have to ask my sister how to make the vanilla paste and maybe make some. I love it. It's so pretty. Okay. I'm gonna mix that up, and then we're gonna add our eggs. 2 eggs, 1 at a time. Scrape the sides of the bowl. I'm just going to dump the other egg in there, mix this around really good. I'm going to actually mix it to the whisk. I don't know if I need the whisk one or this one. Electric mixer beat together. Probably should have mixed the egg and the sugar and stuff a little better. I'm going to keep it with the paddle because when you're making cake, you use the paddle, not the egg one. I was reading. Okay. So this is pretty much about as good as I'm going to get it mixed together. I mean, I can beat it with the other one, but I don't want to overdo it. But it looks like my sugar is well combined. It's the butter, is well distributed. So now we are going to alternate milk, flour, milk. So I'm going to grab it's a third of a cup. It doesn't matter which one you grab, as long as you just kind of alternate a little bit at a time. So I'm just going to add some in here, mix it around on a low speed. So I'm going to turn it on one because the thing's, and it's still wet. So I'm going to add a little bit more, maybe not. All right, a little bit more. Half of that. This is 1 cup of 2% milk. It doesn't say what kind of milk to use. This is just what I had in my refrigerator. That's what we drink. My husband had it his way. We'd have whole milk from the cow. Goat's milk. He loves goat's milk. Oh, I love the smell of the ginger and the cloves together. So, I can get a pot and put orange peels and ginger and clove in it and water and let it just sit there. If you have a wood burning stove, you know how dry it gets in your house and stuff. You just put a little pot with all that stuff on it and oh my gosh, it smells so good. Some pine needles. Mm-mm-mm. I'm going to stop this for a second, scrape the sides. Never made a big pumpkin cake before. I'm going to add some more to it. Pumpkin muffins, yes. And that I just followed my zucchini bread recipe. And this one I found online. I'm going to see if I can find out who it is really fast. Neighborfood. Neighborfoodblog.com. The cake looks so good. And the recipe looks simple. So basically, you just want to mix this until there's like no white left, meaning no cake showing, or no cake, no flour left. So I'm going to have to scrape it really fast. This is my third apron today. It's so funny. Or not today, this week. It's like one a day this week. Normally I can grab an apron and use that one almost my whole weekend, depending on what I'm making. The last couple of days, I have been so messy. I made chili yesterday, and what else did I make? Apple pie. Was that yesterday? No, that was the day before. The day before I did pumpkin and apple pie filling. And yesterday I made homemade chili. And I was going to can the chili. My sister gave me a brand new, not a brand new, it's brand new to me, pressure cooker. It's small, so I can find somewhere to fit it in my house. Right now it's still in my car. And I need to bring it in so I can look at the name of it so I can look it up and watch some videos on it. My sister said she'd help me. You know, she's so busy and stuff, so I got to call her early in the morning before she starts work. And she will help me. But she said, watch it. Sorry about the noise. She said, watch a video on YouTube. And that, you know, I always forget we are so lucky that we have all these videos that we can watch and learn from, because when I was learning how to cook and I was learning different things and stuff, we didn't have videos. We had TV and they had the cooking channel. You could not rewind. You could, you know, record it, and that way you could rewind that. But we were not as lucky to have all this Google and all this stuff that helps you with baking and cooking and learning how to do stuff. Hold on, I've got to read something really fast. Set this aside. And then it says to make your crumb mixture. But see, I've already made my crumb mixture first. We're going to pour half the pumpkin batter into the prepared dish. Let me clean up this little mess I've got going right here. This is my prepared dish. We're going to pour half of the batter in it. It says top with the crumb mixture. And then pour the remainder batter over it, and then top the rest of the crumb mixture and bake for 45 to 55 minutes until a toothpick insert in comes out clean. Okay, so we need to pour in half of this mixture and get the stuff out of the, I hope the butter's, there's some big piece of butter in there. I want to kind of get that stirred around a little better, chop it up a little bit. I'm wondering if that butter should have creamed up in that sugar more. Okay, is that half? Usually I use a measuring cup when I'm measuring or pouring my cake batters and stuff. I go half, 1 cup, 1 cup, 1 cup, 1 cup, because I'm separating it that way. Look at this mess I'm making. Don't want to lose that good stuff. Okay, I'm going to go get that crumble out of the freezer. Goodness, I made a mess. I'm gonna, let's see, it's cold, so I'm gonna kind of crumble it together and squeeze it together and make big chunks so it will crumble for see there. I'm worried about the flour, it just being flour and going bloop right into it. That's what I'm worried about, because you know, you want little tiny crumbles, not flour. It's sucking right into it. Okay, we're gonna just dump the rest of this on it. Maybe I should have read the directions before I did this one. I don't remember this part of it. It's so funny. I said I read a lot of different ones. I hate it when I do that because then I get them all mixed up. I'm like, ooh, this one, ooh, this one, ooh, this one. You know what? Must have crumble and dump. Not dump, but that's what I wanted was a crumble cake. So yeah. Probably not going to put all this on it because I don't want it to be. There was one, actually, you know what? There was one, it was four cups of flour, 1.5 cups of the crumble. It was like a huge, basically you were eating a crumble cake because it was all crumble. It was crazy, but it looked so good. It looked like it was from New York, like a New York restaurant or something made it. And somebody copycatted. I love copycat stuff as long as they get it right. I'm not going to put the rest of that on there. We're going to put this in the oven for 45 minutes, and then we will check it. It's 45 to 55 minutes. 45 to 55 minutes. We will check it in 45 minutes. Five minutes. I don't think it's quite done yet. It doesn't jiggle. It looks like the edges are getting browned. I'm going to put the toothpick in the middle. It feels really soft still. Wow, it might be done. Huh. Goodness, I'm going to give it 5 more minutes because I want my bottom to be a little darker. But see, using real pumpkin, it's not going to be that orange color that you get from, I'll pull out another pot holder. I'm going to show you guys if I can from here because I'm not sure what the camera's showing you. But canned pumpkin is like a bright orangey color. And when you make your own pumpkin, look, it's not crumbled like I wanted it to be, but see the darkness on the bottom is kind of light. My muffins are usually pretty light. Let's just give it 5 more minutes. I want it done, but not overdone. And we'll come back in a second. I'm telling you, I don't want to overcook it. I almost want to pull it out and amazing. It's only been 3 minutes, so like I said, I don't want to overcook it. And it looks perfect. I wish the crumble on top was more crumbly. I'm telling you, I'm a horrible crumble maker. But we will come back when this is cooled off, cut it open, and I'll probably have to share half of this with my neighbor. I'm going to try to talk him into getting me some more of those rocks so I can build some more houses. I think it's cool enough to cut into it. I'm going to cut all the way to here. And then we're going to cut down. Might as well cut the rest of it, huh? I hear crumbles. It's crumbly. Not as crumbly as I want it to be, and I know what I did wrong. There goes, there goes that crumble. Put it back where it goes. Okay. The first one is always the hardest to get out because they're just hard to get out. But it looks like that is exactly what I wanted. A little more crumble though. Let's see if I'm gonna pull up. That one and that one is still warm. It's got some streusel going through it, some crumble on top. We're gonna give it a little taste test here in a second. I'm gonna do. I like the corners better. Mmm. Mmm. It's a pumpkin muffin almost with the crumble topping on it. Mmm. Mm. My husband's over there going, mm. I better bring him that other piece. Yum. I think this is a win. And I think I might get some really pretty rocks out of this if I take it to my neighbor's work